The Chromolume sequence.
Okay, you can start anytime.
It's dark in here.
In 1983, I was commissioned by this museum to do a piece commemorating the you and all that.
Yeah, I just need to be able to hear you.
Okay. In 1983, I was commissioned by this museum to do a piece commemorating George Seurat's painting, a Sunday afternoon on the island of the Grand Jatte. My latest Chromolume stands before you now, the second continuing series. As I have a special association with this painting, the museum director, Robert Greenberg, suggested I prepare a short presentation to precede the activation of my latest invention. I had brought my grandmother along to give me a hand. My grandmother, Marie.
I was born in Paris, France, 98 years ago. My grandson, George.
I was born in Lodi, New Jersey, 32 years ago.
My mother was married to Louis, a baker. We left France when I was just an infant to travel to Charleston, South Carolina.
George Seurat.
Born December 2nd, 1859.
It was through his mother that the future artist was introduced to the lower class Parisian parks. Seurat received a classical training at the Beaux-Arts.
Like his father, he was not an easy man to know.
He lived in an age when science was being influenced over romantic principles.
He worked very hard.
His first painting at the age of 24, Bathing at Amiens, was rejected by the Salon but was shown by the group of independent artists.
They hung it over the refreshment stand. Wasn't that awful?
In 1884, he began work on his second painting, a Sunday afternoon on the island of the Grand Jatte. He was to work 2 years on this painting.
He always knew where he was going before he even picked up a paintbrush.
He denied conventional perspective and conventional space.
He was unconventional in his lifestyle as well. You know, so was I. I was a Florida girl.
Marie, the film is running.
Excuse me. They hung it over the refreshment
Marie.
stand.
Having studied scientific findings on color, he developed a new style of painting, found by painting tiny particles color next to color that at a certain distance the eye would fuse the specks optically, giving them greater intensity than any mixed pigments.
He wanted to paint with colored light.
Beams of colored light, he hoped.
It was shown at the 8th and last Impressionist exhibition. I did it wrong one.
You're fine. Monet, Renoir, and Sisley withdrew their submissions because of his painting.
They placed it in a small room off to the side of the main hall, too dark for the painting to truly be seen.
The painting was ridiculed by most, but there were also a handful of believers in his work.
He went on to paint 6 more major paintings before his sudden death at the age of 31. He never sold a painting in his lifetime.
On this occasion, I present my latest Chromolume,
Number 7.
which pays homage to the Grand Jatte and my grandmother Marie. The score for this presentation has been composed by Naomi Eisen.
George begins to activate the
Don't read that part, grandmother.
Oh, don't read this.
Robert Greenberg!
Just a minute, George.
It's the regulator, George. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for precise synchronization of all the visual elements. I've installed a new state-of-the-art Japanese microphone which controls the voltage regulator. I'm afraid a surge from the musical equipment has created an electrical short.
Okay, we can skip to please proceed.
Proceed, for God's sake, please proceed!
When I was young, Mother loved telling me tales of her life in France and of her work as an artist model.
Her mother showed her this great painting and pointed to this woman and said that it was she.
And she pointed to a couple in the back. They were holding an infant child, and she said that was me.
Shortly before my great-grandmother's death, she spoke of her association with the artist of this painting. She told Marie that he was her real father.
I was shocked.
My parents never believed this story. After all, there was no proof.
Mother gave me this small red book.
Marie,
I wanted to bring the book, George, and show it. In the back, there are notes about his great-grandfather, the artist.
actually, this is just a grammar book in the handwriting of a child. And though there are notes in the back which mention a George, they could be referring to anyone.
But they do not.
I do not know that there is any validity to this story.
Of course there is validity. He has to have everything spelled out for him.
The tales are many, the facts are sketchy. I would like to invite you into my Sunday Island of Light, which will be on exhibition here in the upstairs gallery until August 1st.
Three.